There are over 500 AB exercises out there. Planks, leg raises, sit-ups, butterfly kicks. The list goes on forever. But here's the thing most people never figure out. Only a handful of them actually build your abs. The rest, they're just wasting your time. And the reason comes down to one mistake that almost everybody makes. A mistake that's been pushed around fitness content for years. Once you see it, you'll never train abs the same way again. It's not just about being lean. Most people think getting a six-pack is simple. Lose enough fat and they just show up, but that's not the whole picture. There are guys out there who get seriously lean and still have nothing to show for it. Flat stomach, no definition, no pop. Meanwhile, other people with more body fat somehow still have visible abs. So what's going on? Part of it is genetics, sure, but a big piece of it comes down to how thick your abs actually are. You see, your abs sit underneath a layer of fat. You can either reduce that layer, or you can make the muscle underneath so thick that it pushes right through. And that second part, that's something you can actually train for. But most people have no idea how. Proof that abs can actually grow. Back in 2017, researchers took 28 soccer players and put them through 10 weeks of straight AB training. They measured the thickness of the muscle before and after. The results were pretty telling. On average, the upper abs grew by 2.1 millimeters, the middle abs by 1.9, and the lower abs grew the most, 2.7 millimeters. Now, a few millimeters doesn't sound like much, but when you're talking about a muscle that's already thin and sits right under your skin, even a small increase in thickness can completely change how defined they look. This is especially important if you're someone who's naturally a hard gainer, someone who wasn't exactly blessed with thick abs out of the gate. Training actually works here. The problem is, most people are doing it completely wrong. The exercises everyone does that actually do nothing. Here's where it gets real. Planks, butterfly kicks, side planks. These are all over every abs workout you've ever seen, and they're not bad exercises. They genuinely strengthen your core. But strengthening and growth are two very different things. Planks keep your core stable. That's it. They're an isometric hold. Trying to plank your way to bigger abs is kind of like trying to wall sit your way to bigger quads. It just doesn't work that way. The actual job of your abs, the primary function, is to bring your rib cage and pelvis together. That means rounding your spine. That's the movement that builds them. And once you understand that, you start to realize that a lot of the exercises people swear by aren't actually doing that at all. The advice that's been ruining your abs. This one is going to sound familiar. You've probably heard it a dozen times. When you do AB exercises, keep your back straight. Sounds logical, right? Neutral spine, good posture, safe movement. Except when it comes to actually building your abs, it's the worst advice out there. Think about leg raises. For years, they were one of the most popular lower ab exercises out there. But here's the catch. The way most people do them, the abs barely fire at all. If your back stays flat and you just swing your legs up and down in an L shape, your hip flexors are doing almost all the work. Your abs are just along for the ride. And it's not just leg raises. This problem shows up in crunches and rollouts in almost every ab exercise if you're not paying attention to how your spine is moving. The hip flexors are sneaky. They love to take over. Let's start with the lower abs. To hit them, you want a movement where the bottom half of your body comes up toward the top. That sounds like leg raises. But as we just talked about, most people butcher them. So here's the better option, reverse crunches on a bench. Now the key thing people miss is this. Don't keep your back flat. That's exactly the mistake that turns it into a hip flexor exercise. Instead, think about rounding your spine into a C shape. Squeeze your knees toward your chest and think about lifting your hips off the bench. That's where the abs actually fire. If you're just starting out, keep your knees close to your body and focus on just lifting your tailbone. That alone will hit your lower abs hard. Once that gets easier, gradually straighten your legs out to increase the resistance. No extra weight needed. And if you really want to dial it in, place a small pad or ab wheel under your lower back at the bottom of the rep. That extra stretch at the start is exactly what the research says your muscles need to grow the most. It's a simple change that makes a massive difference. Now flip it around. For the upper abs, you want the top half of your body folding down toward the bottom. That's crunches, but again, only if you do them right. Same rule applies. No flat back, no L shape. Think about folding your chest down toward your pelvis in a C shape. Your shoulder blades should barely come off the ground. The second you go higher than that, your hip flexors jump in and your abs check out. Once crunches stop being a challenge, this is where things get interesting. Cable crunches, specifically the version where you kneel facing away from the machine, are an absolute game changer. The reason is simple. Facing away from the stack means the cable is pulling your spine into extension at the top of every rep. That gives your abs a real stretch before you crunch down into the contraction. Constant tension, full range of motion, and the muscle is being loaded exactly where it grows the most. Lock your hips, keep your arms locked next to your ears, and let your abs do everything. Once you feel the difference, going back to basic floor crunches is going to feel almost pointless. How to actually program this? Here's the blueprint. Pick one lower abs exercise and one upper abs exercise. Do 3 sets of each, somewhere in the 6 to 12 rep range. When you can hit 12 clean reps across all 3 sets, it's time to make it harder. Either increase the difficulty of the movement or add a little weight. Train your abs once a week to start. If you're serious about building them, bump it up to twice. That's it. That's the whole plan. But here's the reality check that a lot of people don't want to hear. You could build the thickest abs in the world and still never see them if they're buried under too much fat. Training is only one side of the equation. The nutrition and the body composition piece is a whole other battle. And honestly, it might be the harder one. But if you handle both sides, there's no reason your abs can't look exactly the way you want them to. The 2 exercises we talked about today are the foundation. Everything else is just noise.